So, which Victor is that? I know a lot of Victors.
Sorry, I'm just joining for the first time.
Oh, okay, good to have you.
Yeah,
Alima is
thank
our
you.
regular customer. Welcome, Alima. What did you bring for us today? Alima, Ogami, let's hear your voice. How you
Yes, ma. Good afternoon, ma.
Good afternoon. So it's good to have everybody. We also have our host. I mean, did I say our host? Our guest speaker is ready on ground and ready for us. So, um, as our culture, we don't like to waste anybody's time. So we're just going to drive like into it almost immediately. So once again, my name is Lizzie. I am Lizzie Downsy. I'm a product designer. I'm a design manager, and I recently just bagged being a researcher. Yeah. So today we're talking about the box model. Let me share my screen. So today we're not going to be doing slides. There are no slides today. Okay, we are going straight into practical. So if you notice the email I've been sending to you guys, I was saying come with your laptop so that you can practice as we are being taught. So we have Maxi Emmy here. Maxi Emmy and I connected last year, right? It was in one of our workshops. This is the second time he's coming to our workshops to bless us with his wealth of knowledge. He's an expert in web design and product design. He's an expert in no code tools as well. He has been a web field developer since 2022. Guess what? He's also an experienced graphic designer since 2016. He's a product designer since 2022 and bubble developer since 2023. Now, this person is not just a designer. This person is a product designer, a graphic designer, a web designer and developer. So this is to tell you that, like always, we always bring people that knows their onions to come and teach us, right? To come and like pour out, like pour inside of us so that we can also learn one or two things. And a lot of us here are probably curious as to what we are trying to do here, right? So we are trying to learn about web design. Should in case you've been trying to work on it, you have tried one or two things on Figma or maybe Adobe XD or some other interface tools like that, and your work is still, there's still a lot of lag here and there as per structure, as per layouts, as per spacing. You still get comments like, "Oh, this thing is not aligned. Oh, this spacing is not defined." But you are still seeing spacing of 0.0066 and 0.12, point something something in your design, then you're in the right place because today we're going to be trashing all of that. And one of the importance of understanding what web design structure, layout, and padding does is that your work begins to look professional, right? This workshop is going to set you apart from the website that you see out there that you wow and you're like, see this design, see how it's clean, see how it's neat, right? It's not magic. It's because these people like take their time into structure, into planning their website, into putting a lot of structure into it. And structure is not just about you putting rulers left and right, okay? There are a lot of things that comes into place, and that's what Max is going to be teaching us today. So without much ado, I think we have enough people on ground to dive into it. Like I said, we are doing full practical today. There's no slide. There's no importance of design. Design is this, design is that. There's no definition of design, web design. Do you understand? Is there anybody here that doesn't understand web design? Let me quickly explain it to you before we proceed. Anybody? Anybody? If you're still confused as to what web design is, please raise your hand so that I can quickly um, explain before we go into practical. Bemisola, you'd like to? Okay. You like to know what web design is. Okay, any other person? Okay, just web, just Bemisola. All right, so I will not assume that I'm speaking to Bemisola alone. I'll assume that I'm speaking to everybody, inclusive of people that don't feel like raising up their hands. So you know when you go to www.victor, okay, you know when you go to www dot da 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 and then you visit a website. So we're gonna do, since we say we are doing full practical today, so I'm gonna share my screen. Okay. Um I'm sharing I'm sharing my screen. You can see my screen already, right? Can somebody confirm they are seeing my screen already? Yes, okay, cool. Okay, so we're gonna do practical. Say confirm you are still seeing my screen. Okay, so let's say we want to go to which website should we try? Okay. Which website should we try? Somebody should just give me something. Which website should we go to? Shibuzo, which website should we go to? Domainshelters.com, Facebook. Okay. So let's try Facebook also. I'll have to log in. Or I don't know. This website is down. Okay. I'll just go to it's paste tag that's coming to my mind. But somebody will say I like using paste tag too much. Okay, let's just do paste tag. Paste tag. You can't hear anything. Please, can you guys hear me? Please confirm you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Okay, Alima, please check your internet. Okay. Okay, Alima, please check your internet. I think it's from you. What's happening to everybody? All the websites like this. What's going on here? I think this one is network. Oh. Let's reload. Okay. So this is a particular web page, right? This is a particular website, and we can also call it a web page because we can access it on the web. Now, the design behind it, which is the web design, is the interface you are seeing right here. You see the way they designed it, the layout, the structure, right? See the headers, see the intro text, right? This section we call it hero. Look at where the picture is, look at where the text is, right? It's just like when you're building a house. When you want to build a house, you don't just put cement and stones and water and just like paste it everywhere, right? You plan it in it. You plan the structure, you plan the foundation, you plan where the rooms will be, you plan where the kitchen, the bathroom, the guest room, and everything. You plan it. Do you understand? So think of this web page as a house as well. This web page is housing a lot of things. It's housing paystack information, is housing paystack customer information, not their direct customer information, but everything you want to know about customers, pricing, you know, their developers, documentation and the likes. Is housing a lot of things, right? The designer did not just come and just put colors together. There was a plan in place. There was a structure in place. There were probably wireframes, like, okay, this is how we're going to plan the hero section. By the time you scroll, we have a text here, we have picture here, and all of, and even the kind of pictures, animation, illustrations that are used are also all planned. Just the way you have the kind of taste that you want, the way you want your house to be, right? You and the architectural developer would plan it. Oh, I want this kind of POP. Oh, I want this kind of tiles. I don't want the guests to come through the rooms before they can ease themselves. I want the guests room or the guests restroom to be somewhere that they can easily access. You understand? Because if you ask me, the way we design houses is the concept is the same concept that we use for our web page. Because if you go to some houses, their user experience is bad. You understand? Especially the kind of houses that they are building in Lagos State. User experiences, they are bad. You will see that you want to enter one house, it might even be through the toilet that you enter the sitting room. You understand? Or you enter the kitchen before you see the sitting room. Do you understand? Those are bad experiences. The same way we have on websites. Some website, you want to purchase something on the website, you are not able to access where to buy. You're not able to access where to pay. You understand? Some websites, you just want to like see what they have. They're already asking you that you must sign up first before you see what you have. And then some people will feel frustrated and then they are gonna leave. You understand? So all this design is what we want to talk about. If you are gonna be designing a web page for somebody, you need to understand the structure, what to put in place, how to plan it, how to pad it, how to put spacing. All of these details will be coming in as Maxi takes the stage. So let me know if I'm able to, like, if I was able to explain this properly. If you understand it now. Do you guys understand it now? All right, cool. Okay, so without much ado, Maxi, the floor is yours.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
So, good evening, everyone. And I want to, first of all, thank God for today and for everyone that is here. I also want to thank Lizzie for this amazing work she has been doing. I really love it. And you push, you just drop a comment for her. She's trying very, very well.
Thank you.
So, today we'll be talking about box model. But before that, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Maxi Emi, and the Maxi come from. Sorry, let me share my screen. Okay, so sharing screen. So can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. Sorry, let me just. So the name is Maxi Emi and is derived from Maximilian Emmanuel. So just the abbreviation that is Maxi Emi. And to God be the glory, the Maxi Emi is now the name that is up there most. So that is where the names comes from. Then going next is hello.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. I'm a product designer and a mobile developer, specialized in designing and building websites and mobile app, including web app too. So I design with Figma, and when it comes to websites, I do with Webflow and Framework. And when it comes to mobile and web app, I deal with Bubble. So for social media, just Maxi Emi. Anywhere, just Maxi Emi. Then today we're talking about box model. I don't do a lot of slide. I just love teaching in. Like I just love practicing everything I'm teaching so that you can understand and you can learn better. Because That is the way I used to learn faster, and I feel like okay, that is the way people should learn too. If you want much slide, it won't happen in this section. We'll go with practical, and I hope you all bring your writing material or something to jot it down. So when you talk about box model, the box model is just the core concept in web design that explain how every element in a website is structured and how space is calculated around it. So when they talk about elements in a website, she visited the place back the other time where she showed you that okay, everything, the housing, the structure, get. Then you visit some websites, you like it. You visit some, you can't even know a way about it. Like she said earlier, she said the way people build house is just like the way we design website or build website. And it's actually true. Because some websites they will frustrate you that even if you have intention to get something, get their services or product, you don't like the frustration they will give you. You just have to just leave or look for other alternative. So when it comes to web design or website design, yes, structure matters most. If you do not get it right in terms of structure, one, you have problem with yourself. Then you have problem with your stakeholders. Then you have problem. Stakeholders are the people you are working with. Then you also have problem with your developers. You understand? So putting this thing in place is very, very important. Yes, you can do without box model. Yes, you can do without it. It's very okay. Like a lot of people are doing without it. But at the end, you find yourself to blame or you regret it in one way or the other, especially when it comes to making changes. And again, you can send a design to your stakeholders, then your stakeholders send it to the developer. But the stakeholder will not get back to you or will not give you a refer or like the communication will just stop from that place because when you send a design to your stakeholders, whether they like the design or not, the developers will be the one to praise you to the stakeholder that yes, you really did a good job. You understand? And it's only happen if you put on a good design, and a good design comes with structure, and the structure, the container, the padding, everything about the design is all called box model. You understand? Now, let me show you this website, which is our host portfolio. See this our website now. Everything is structured. Then the layouts are very okay. Now, what I want you to see here is that if you check this heading side now, this heading side where you see our name, then project, about, contact, followed by contact me. These are section. These are section. After the layout, you talk about the section. Then every website contains of section. Now, this is the section, and this section is called navbar. If you people are into design, like I know everybody here are into design, so you should know that okay, this section is called navbar. Then after navbar, the next section is the hero section, which is this side now. All this side you are seeing is the hero section. And after the hero section, you can have other section and this section about me section. It depends on what this section is all about. I don't know if you are getting me.
Yes, please respond so that we know that you're following.
Yeah, yeah, we get you. Get you.
So now, if I check this website now, the same thing happened with this website. We have our nav bar here, the logo, then the CTA, followed by the nav links. Then aside it now, the next is hero section. As I told you earlier, hero section, followed by any other section, which is either about section, the anything, any other section can go along with it. But when it comes to box modeling now, if you don't understand box model, this is where everything will go wrong. This is where everything will go wrong. Now, Now, talking about the box model have four principles, which is the content, the border, the padding, and the margin. And those are the things that make a good website. And those are the things that makes websites very easy for you and the developer. Like that seamless connection is where all these things happen. Like these four principles are where everything happen. So if you get it wrong, it will be very hard for you and like it will be very hard for you to redesign the website that you design. Sometimes you design a website, then the stakeholder will call you back. Okay, so we have make a changes on our product or on our services. We want you to make a changes. Then that design the website will be finding difficult to make changes on your design again. Why? Because the structures that you need to put in place, you did not put it in place. So without it, you actually, like I said earlier, actually you can do without box model. You can really do without box model. But you doing without box model, like you frustrate yourself. Let me show you some design before we go further. There is this design now. There is this design. Now, if you view this design, let me preview so you can see. So you see this design now. This design is very clean, very good, very okay. Then if you scroll down, the design is all okay, all good. Yes, you can say yeah, everything is set, like everything is okay, perfectly okay. Design is clean. But this design does not follow the box model principle. It does follow the box model principle. Yes, you can design a very clean, like you can design a very good and very clean and very simple design, and still yet you don't follow the box model principle. Now, if you go back to the design file now, you can see. So all these structures now, all these structures, all this is not how it's supposed to be. Because when it comes to box model, you can't give anybody this file to work on, and the person will actually know where to work on. I don't know if you understand, if you are getting my point.
Yes.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes,
We
we
can
can
hear
Yes, I
hear
you.
can
you.
hear you.
Okay.
So you can't give anybody, even you as a designer now that is viewing this file. If I said okay, change one or two things here now, you have to like start looking for it one after the other. Like if you open this frame now, another frame under another frame, like you can't even know where to go. You have to take your time. Now imagine you give this design file now to a developer to work on. Definitely you people will have issue because all this frame now, the developer cannot even say okay, this is where, if they say you should go and work on, let me review the website again. Okay, now let's say this FAQ section. FAQ section. You should go and work on FAQ section. We have make some changes. Add this question with this answer. Then you now see design file like this. From the file here, from the file here, you can't even know where to go. You can't even know. And the person that designed this website is a professional designer, actually. Then that is why the person is able to even like the visual aspect to the public is even okay like this. Then if it is a newbie that designed this website, there will be a lot of issue that it will be very viable for the public. But as a designer, once you see it, you know that okay, there is a problem here. We are going to redesign this section. We are going to redesign this website. Like I said, we are doing practical today. We are going to redesign this website exactly the same, but following the box model principle. But before that, we'll do some practical, another simple practical first before this website project. Now, if you come back to this, our host portfolio, let's take this section as an example. This section is my process section. You understand? Like I said earlier, after your navbar, then the next section is hero section. Hero section are the section that on a view, like once you view it, once you click on every website, the first section you see is the navbar and the hero section. And the hero section determines what the website is all about. You understand? So what the website is all about. Once you visit this website, you know this is her name, Lizzie, then you know what she do and how to contact her. So
Recording is on.
now imagine you visit this website and you are
Sorry,
unable to even get.
Mark, Juliet, your recorder is disturbing us. It's making this thing echo. Okay, good.
Can I continue?
Yes. Yes, you can.
So after the hero section, like I said, the hero section is where you tell the public because it's the first page that grab the people attention. So you have to like tell the people what the website is all about before they can even start scrolling down to know more about the website. So now this section is about me section. Then this section is the service she offered, the section. Then the feature project. If you scroll down, then the process section. Now we are going to use this process section as our first example or our first practical in this section. Now, if you go to Figma, now if you go to Figma, in box model, we are taught that every website have we have we have the first section which we call the body. Developers call it body, but as a designer, you can call it the name of the page of that website where we have homepage, about me page, then contact page. So let's just name this one homepage. So in box model, using frame is not the best way to work. That's why we have the concept of auto layout. If you don't know about auto layout, we're going to talk more about it today, and you see how it makes your work very, very seamless. Now, to apply auto layout in any frame is by clicking this button, use auto layout. Once you click on the button, you can see the icon here change. So if you control Z again, you can see the icon. This is the frame icon. Then once the frame has once auto layout has been applied to a frame, it will change icon, and you can apply the auto layout using this icon, or you can use Shift A. So I'm going to use Shift A lot. So you see now when this is my own personal preference, not like it's not a general thing, but if you want to do it, fine. I used to design when once I want to design any web design project, I used to use 1440 as my width. So which is 1440, 1440 fixed width. You understand? So why I use this fixed width is I use it as a container to hold all my section so that once you scale up, you scale down, I can know where to work with. You get now this container will always be fixed. Is 1440. Then when you talk about the whole content, which is the height will always be whatever the element or like whatever the information I want to put there on the website, we hug the content of it. So there is no particular fixed height for any web design. When you talk about height, there is no particular fixed height. The height depends on the content you want to put on the website. So that is it. Now, after you create the section that hold all the whole content, on the website, the next section that you're going to create on it is to draw another frame on the home page. Then you call the frame section. And again, when it comes to box model, naming your section is very, very important. Is very, very important. I know a lot of people will tell you that it's not like naming a container or naming anything when designing is not important. Just do beautiful design. All these things. I know it works for people, but in a proper way, using a box model project, naming is very, very important. Now, let me show you this design again. Then let me show you the preview here. Now, as I said earlier, if you're following me, then when I said, let's say a stakeholder come again and tell you that you should add this is how many, one, two, three, four Q&A. Now, if the stakeholder asks you that, okay, these four questions, I want you to change everything, then I want to add extra two. You should go back to the design and add and change the four, then add extra two. Then you now come to the design like this. How will you be able to figure out the where the FAQ is? You have to start viewing all the whole frames one after the other before you're able to get what you want. You understand? But with the help of naming your section, like naming your frame, you'll be able to get it easier. So are you people getting my point?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank
Yes,
you.
boss. Yes, boss.
Now let's go back to our design here. Now we have section. Then aside this section now, you have to put it in auto layout. Everything you're doing must be in auto layout. You see the reason today. Now, once you put this one in auto layout too, on your home page, you have to remove the padding, the margin, and every other thing. Everything should be zero for the first home page. After the section now, you have to fill the content, like the spacing should fill the whole parent container of this section, and the parent container is the home page. So you have to fill it, like everything should fill. Which fill means, let me show you something here. Okay. Let's put the thing on fixed width. Let's say 500. Then center. Now this section now, let's give it a color. Then this is our section here. Let's give our section color again, blue. Then let's say 50%. Then let's add another section. This section is called container. Let's add another section. As I said earlier, you put on auto layout, name it container. So this is our section now. This is our website. Then the red part, like this red container now, is the home page. Then the blue container is the section, and the container itself is the yellow. Is the one we colored with yellow. Now I want to show you something here. The reason why we use this as field is because we want it to stretch based on the user screen. That's why we used to use field. Then why this container is always fixed. Now, if you check this design now, once you want to, like, let's say my screen, let's say the user screen is more than one. Let's say the user screen is now 120. You can see the red container has disappeared. Now, if the user screen is maybe all those people that used to use big monitor, let's say 2000 now. So you can see the differences. The blue did not scale at all, and the blue supposed to scale to the home page. Let me show you example. If you go to this website now, if you go to this website now, let's say I increase my screen size now. You see, my screen size has been increased. You see the content of the website here being centered here. Like you see everything centered, 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 centered. You see. Now, the home page is the width of my screen. Then the section, which is this section now, this blue section now, it scale with the screen. It scale with the screen. That's why you are able to see this color. You can see this white. and you can see this color again. You can see the saturated white, saturated blue, then this white again. You can see. Then this black side too. This the section scale with the screen. That is the reason. If the section did not scale with the screen, you see different. This part will not be shown here. Now, the container that hold the content of that section will not be will not filled with the screen. It must have a fixed, it must have a fixed width so that once once a viewer is viewing your design on a bigger screen, it will not scatter your design to them. It will always be fixed. That okay, this is the fixed width of this container. That is why no matter how you zoom, like how you increase your screen size, this text will always be centered and it will not stay here to here. No matter how you increase it, you understand. So if you go back to the normal screen and you see everything is okay, but once you start scaling, let's say you're using big screen, you start you start all the whole content are still fixed on a centered alignment. Now, if this thing is not fixed like that, you see this text, it will be here, it will be on this edge. Then wait, I'm coming. Let me use you see this one, this about the book, it will be edge here. Then this book will be edge here. This will just be empty like that. I will show you example once we start designing. I guess my let me know if I'm still on point.
Are you guys following? Okay.
Okay, so that's why once you this fixed of a thing is my personal preference in using 140 in y 1440. Some people use 14400, like 14400. Some people, but me, I like using 1440 based on my screen. So this section now, this section here, this homepage that I just like this container that is called homepage, or this, let me call it frame. This frame that is calling homepage now, in this website, you see this the first screen that you see is the homepage. Now, if you go to the about page, the project page now, go to the project page. This is another page entirely. This is another page entirely. Then the about is another page entirely. Then the contact another page entirely. The case study too is another page entirely, whether it's serious or not. So now, if you want to create a design, this is the home page. If you want to create another one now, it will be contact us page, about us page. So you can see that the first page is the page of the website you are viewing, that current page. That's why we name it home page. So going back to the section aspect now, I said earlier that the section will always be filled. It will always be filled with the home page, like the screen of the user. Why are we using like why do we want it to be filled with the home page? After showing the example of this, now let me do some practical for you to see. Let's say this section now. Let's say i- this section is our hero section. Then this section now is the about section. Then this one is the project section. Good. Now let's change the color so that you can see. Let's change the blue to green. Then let's change blue to maybe purple. Then let me remove the yellows first. 0%. Exactly. So this is the home page. This is the hero section. This is the about section. This is the project section. Now, if you did not fill the section with the screen, this is what you get. I- If I scale this design now, if I scale this design, you can see that it separates, like this section did not fill with the screen. Because of that, now your design will be rough. But once you fill it with the screen, you get like it will align. Now you can see this one as we scale, as we increase our screen size. You see this color is match with the section. This white it will match with the section, including this side and this one too. So without it now, it will not work. You will be seeing different color here. The person used maybe the person used white as the page color. Then this here, this blue now, this blue, this faded blue now, it will cut here. So, but once you scale it, you'll be able, like once you fill it with the screen size, it will work, like everything will work well. Now let's go back to the design. We select our hero section, about section, then project section. Once you select it like this, then we filled it, like we fill container. You can see as we fill the container now, no matter how you scale it, no matter how you scale the screen, it will be okay than before. Now, do you understand why we use fill for section now? Let me hear you in the comment section, please.
Guys,
And again, hope I'm not rushing.
do you understand why we use fill for sections? Okay, we have two responses. Where are the other responses? T, Juliet, Alima.
Okay. So
Okay.
we understand why we use fill for the section. Now, for the containers, let's bring back the opacity to yellow. So you can see the containers now. Containers are containers are where your content, your element. Your element is the text, the image, the icon that you want to use. So those are the content, like those are the elements for the website. All this, the text here, this animation, the text animation, the text here, the button. So those are just elements of the website. Now the container, we always put our container that hold our element in a fixed width, which is 1200. So our container will always be, like our element will always be in a container of 1200. 1200. The reason why we use 1200 is that the smallest desktop screen is 1200. The smallest desktop screen is 1200. So the 1200 above is maybe desktop, 4K screen, and others. But the container will always be 1200. Now you can see this our design now. You can see this our design. You see, we know this is our section, this is our yellow section, this is our about section, and this is our project section. But you see this yellow box now. Yellow box are our containers. So our containers will always hold our element. No matter the screen size, no matter how wide the screen is, it will just remain in that fixed position. Now let's reduce our screen now. You see, if we reduce our screen to 1200, you can see everything is okay. Now, no matter how you increase your screen, it will keep on, like it will fix to that width. It will not expand with the like with the zero section or the homepage section. Now, if you zoom out and you keep on increasing it, it will just be on that fix. It will not, like that fixed center. It will not scale. It will not scale with them. It will not scale with the section and the home page. Like, it will not scale like this, something like this. It will not fill the container like this. It will just be on that fix. That is what is happening here. that no matter how we increase our screen size, this content, all those elements, they still remain where they are, no matter what. Like no matter what, they will still remain where they are. So you understand this principle. So you understand this principle now.
Do you understand questions?
Did anybody have questions so far?
Any questions? Okay.
Okay, no question, right?
Yeah.
So you understand the structure that we laid in designing our section or our website in general. We have the homepage, the section, and the containers. Let me delete all the colors. Now you see everything is white, like is in white color. But being in white does not mean it's not there. You understand? It doesn't mean it's not there. It's there. It's there. So you don't see does not mean it's not there. It's there for you to hold the structure of the website. Let's change our screen size to 140. Now, so once you come to the hero section will always be filled with the home page. Then the container will be fixed 1200. Now, once the container is fixed with 1200, the next thing we do is add our padding and our margin. I said the box model principle contain the padding, the margin, the border, and the layout. This content is the layout. Let me change it from content to layout. So we talk about layout just now. We know how to structure it based on the layout we want to use. Now let's talk about the margin, the padding, and the border all together. Now, I said our container will always be fixed to 1200 as the fixed width. Now, once it's fixed width, the next thing you should think about is the padding, like the edge. The padding means the edge. If you write content on it, hope it will not like there will be a breathing space, like that breathing space for the user to understand that okay, this is where this content end. Now let's add something. Like I said earlier, we're going to use this section as example. Now let's add text first. Now you see this text, this is our container. Let me give it color so that you can see. Now this is our container. This is our container. And you can see that the text, the text is big. Yes, I make it big so that you can see this example very well. The container is 120 fixed. Now, the text exceeds the container because the text is bigger than the container. But with the help of margin and padding, you'll be able to, like, no matter how big an element it is, either they squeeze themselves in, or they give their self space. Now, you can see from here that there is no space at all, like there is no breathing space. There's no breathing space. Let me decrease the size to 80. Then let me try this. So you can see now, you can see that the text are we have three texts here, and the width of the text all exceed the container. But with the help of margin, it will be able to, like, it will able to squeeze everything. That, okay, you, if you're bigger than me, is it that you go down, or you, like, is it that you go down, no matter, you, like, just squeeze yourself in. You understand? That's what padding do. Just squeeze yourself in. You can't be bigger than me. This is my fixed width. You understand? Now take for a room now. You know, each room has their fixed width. Once they build the house, now your room, you can't shift it unless you want to demolish that side and add to it. But no matter anything you're bringing into that room, you can't bring something that will be bigger than that room. You understand? Is it that you, maybe you break the thing down, or you remove it from there? So that is how that is how padding and margins work. You get now. You know how to add margin and the padding. Like, the way Figma do is that, I think Figma don't have margin. They only have padding. But in development, we have both. You understand? So the difference between it is that margin is the space outside, then why padding is the space inside. You get, in this our container, if you add, let's say, normally I used to add either 48 or 40 as my padding, because more than 1200 width for any screen is a small screen. So giving it much padding, like, it will not make sense. It's like the space will be too much. I don't know if I can preview this design for you to see. Let's see if it will work. Fixed width. It will not work. But what I want to show is that, if you're using a small screen laptop that is 120, definitely you will not have much space. The Like, the smaller the screen, the smaller the spacing you are going to be giving. The smaller the screen, the smaller spacing you are going to give. So in every container, like in every container of 120, 1200 fixed width, so I used to add 40 as my padding, or 48 sometime. You can add anything you want, like, you can add anything you want, but it's always 40. To me, it's 40. Some people use 32, but me, I used to use 40. Now let's use 40 here. If you add 40 on both sides now, you can see. Now, as we add padding, you see that this text process, this text, my process, everybody find a way to squeeze themselves in. Now, as they squeeze themselves in, you can see that here, if you can see this tiny blue line with this white edge, you can see that there is a space here, there's a space here, there's a space here, there's a space here too. Like, there's space all around. Now, that is the wait, let me show you what I'm trying to say. Let's group this into container. Let's say text. Let's change it to something white. Exactly. Now you see the padding now. This blue I think is the padding of the container. You understand? It's not this white now. It's not this text. This text. You know this text. Let me call it text group. This text group now is holding the text. You understand? It's holding the text, and the color is white inside this container. that is fixed with 1200. You understand? So no matter how it is, like this spacing will always be there. It will always be there. So if you increase the spacing now, let's increase from 40 to 80. You can see this container now, this container with the text, with everything inside it, we find a way to squeeze themselves in. That is how it will work. So let's change it back to 40. So you must have this padding so that all your content or your elements now will not be the edge, like will not be the edge side of the screen. I can't remember any website I can use as an example, but you understand my point. Let me go back to this website. Now, you see, this website now, this logo, these are logo and these are CTA, like the contact button. You know, the contact button now, you see this space from here to here, and you see this space from here to here. These are the padding we just add. So no matter how this screen, no matter how I increase my screen, you see that this space is still being maintained. This space here is still being maintained no matter how it is. You see, but let's say now this is normal screen size. If I increase the screen, if I increase the screen, let's say now I'm using a tablet. Wait, let me use inspect panel for you to demonstrate this for you. Oh, sorry. Yes, good. So you see this. Let's change to iPad Pro. Now you see we change the screen size to iPad. We change the screen size to iPad, but this padding, this line still maintained, like it maintains that padding. It will never go against that padding. Same here, same here too. If you scroll down, okay, if you scroll up, now this image, it will not scale beyond this line, this padding that they give in this website. You can see the space. If you change it to, let's say, iPhone 14 Pro Max here, you can see that the line reduce because I told you earlier that the smaller the screen, the smaller the margin or padding. Now you can see this line is still being maintained. Without it, this text might be starting from this edge, which is not a good user experience. So that's why we always add padding and margin. In web development, is padding and margin, but Figma is just adding padding for us. But you get the concept. Let me know if you get the concept.
Who is there? Are you getting the concept? Somebody say something. Alima, are you saying something?
Okay.
Somebody says small, small. Pressure, do you have questions?
So if you have question, ask. Let's carry everybody along, please.
Unmute your mic and let's know which part you didn't get.
Okay, I don't really have questions. I'm still trying to understand the last thing he explained about changing of, in case you change, maybe you change the screen to an iPhone or you change it to a desktop, it still remains the same.
Okay. What I'm trying to explain is that you have to give padding to every container so that there will be a breathing space. That's why I use this website as a case study. That if you change let's say you are using iPhone 14 Pro Max now to access this website, this padding will still be maintained. You understand? Without this padding, your text will start from this edge. It will start from this edge. And you can't even zoom screen. So it will, if you change to which other big screen that is here now. Now, if you change to another device, you can see that this padding is still maintained. Without it, your text will be starting from this line. It is starting from the edge, like edge without breathing space, which will not give the user a good user experience. So that's what I'm trying to show you with examples. So do you get it now?
Do you get it now? So let me maybe I should just like say it maybe to be more simpler. So you might maybe what is confusing here is that you are saying that the padding is reducing or increasing. But what Maxi is saying is that there's still padding. You understand? Like whether you increase it, you reduce it, there's still that space around that is shielding the text from moving to the exact edge of that frame. Now, like you said before, the smaller the screen, the smaller the padding, right? So if you it showed us a mobile screen just now, and we saw that the space around here is a bit smaller, right? Than the space that you saw when it was on a big screen. Is because the screen has become smaller. Your padding too will have to. So for instance, now if you did a bigger, okay, so let's use the box model concept now. He has added, what did you add? You added 40 as padding, right?
Yes.
So as it's increasing or decreasing the size, that padding is maintained. You still see that space around. You understand? So I don't know if I made it simpler for you to understand.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, to you say I'm going fast. I'm on a time limit of 2 hours. That's why I'm just trying to like cover a lot within that 2 hours. Sorry for that.
Try and catch up fast, fast, fast. Remove all distraction. This is going to change the way you approach your web design, like from today. Even me, I'm learning new things. So, guys, please focus.
So from the let's I'm going. So if you go back to our design that we are working on, we have already understand the whole structure, the home page. Then the home page should comes with section, and the section should be filled with the home page because the home page will determine the screen, or like the home page is the screen that the user will view your website or your design from. They will talk about container and it should be fixed 1200. Then the container should have padding of 40. And I said earlier that the 40 is my own preference. You can use 32. If you use 32 now, if you use 32, you can see the space decrease. It just depends to you. But me, I like using 40 or 48, depend on the content of the website. You understand? Now, let me copy this section. Sorry. Now, from this design, let's copy this section out. Then use box model as a come. Let me paste it here. Yes, good. Now we copy this out from that design, and you can see this design is very good, it's very okay. Now we want to use box model to approach this design, and you see how seamless it will be. You see how seamless it will be. First, we have the section. Now, this section now, let's rename our let's delete these two section from our own design. Then we have hero section. Then what's the name of this section? Let's just call this section maybe about the
Solution.
business. So let's change it to section about. I told you naming is very, very important. You see the reason now. About section. They will have container. Like we said earlier, our container will always be fixed. Will always be, we have this container now. Our container will always be fixed 1200. Then if you go back to our design now, it will be fixed with padding. Let's delete now. This is our container. If you go back to this design now, you can see this design, they structure it in two container, which is this side, this one. Then we have this one too. You get how we are going to do it is we have this container, we have this container. Then we'll come to our design. We'll add two container, which is two frame, auto layouts. Then add another frame. You can see. Now let's change this to maybe red. Then let's change this to maybe yellow. Now this container is fixed 1200. Then every other containers that is going to be under this container must be filled. Then once these containers are filled, we will name. I told you naming is very, very important. Left container or left column, then right column, right column. Now we use left column and right column, but the design we are working on now, this design we want to replicate now is top and bottom. So we'll now change it to top column. Then this one is
Bottom.
bottom column. Now we are going to use fixed. Like this container is fixed. So this one, so any container, anything that will be on inside the container will always be filled. If you fill this container now, let's say fill container, then let's remove this. Now you can see our design, right? You can see our design. Let me move it up here. You can see the design. No matter how the screen increased, you see this yellow and this red we know like their increase, their maximum width will be determined by this container. It will not pass 1200. You get. Now let's say we reduce our screen size and we started reducing our screen size. So it will reduce, but it will not be beyond that fixed container, because that container is already fixed. Every other thing can, like, you can scale, but you can't scale beyond that fixed. You understand? Now let's change it to 440. Now another thing you understand here is this container, we say it should feed, but the feed will not be 1200. Why? Because this padding that we have, this 40 padding, have already blocked that this container, like this other container inside that main container. Let me rename this to main container so that you get it will, even if you, let's say, you delete this one now, and just leave this red. This red cannot be 1200, because the margin 40 here and the margin 40 here, which is 40 plus 40, 80,
Blocking
has
it.
already reduced from this to give this one a new size. I don't know whether you understand it, but please just try to understand me. This container now, we have padding here, 40, then 40 here, which is 40 both sides, both the left and the right is 40, 40. Then 40 plus 40 is 80. Now, if you this container, this other container, this top column container now that is in the main container, we fill it. We fill it, but it will not be the same size with the main container. If you check this homepage now, this homepage is 1400. If you check the section now, the section also is also 1400. That is, no matter the size the homepage carry, that's what the section is going to carry. You understand? But this main container is 1200. It will not carry that same size, like it will not carry that same size. So because of the margins or the padding we add here, it will make you not to it will make it it will make every other thing not to scale beyond that. And beyond that means that it will be subtracted from the margin. Now let's remove the margin and see. Let's remove the margin from the main container, the 40. Now let's remove the 40. As you can see, is scaled to the edge. Now this top container, this top column has become 1200. So no matter the size now, like that is the maximum width that the top column will carry. But because we need extra space, that's why we are going to add padding. So adding padding to the main container now, just know that anything outside it will not be able to get to that 1200 aside minusing the both padding, both the left and the right padding from it. Why I'm telling you this is that this if you check this side now, wait, let me move this design. Now, if you check this design now, this design, this section now. So this is the reason why you see that this section you are seeing here, this section, this is another section, this is another section on its own, then this is another section on its own. These are the reason why you see that no matter how you scale it, it will still maintain that size. Now, let me use this hero section as an example for you. Now, you see, this one now is not they fit this image. That's why you see now this content is here, but see where the image is. See the image is just dragging itself to that edge because they did not add that fixed, like that fixed margin into the image. That's why I seen it that way. Like this image is not in any container here. This is a typical example I can use. But you see the other thing, everything is okay. But because the image is not part of this container, like this part of this container, this main container, that's why you see it here. So this is exactly how it should be if you did not fix it. This book now, about the book, it will be here. It will be in this edge, this edge. Then this one will be in this edge. Then this space will just be empty. You see, it will destabilize your design for you. That's why the box model is very, very important. This is a good example I can give you. Now let's go back to our designing. So we have top and bottom column. We can see that this design is top and bottom. Then our own is just left and right. So we have to change the alignment. You know how to change the alignment as designer here. It will see like this. Then here, you know how to change the alignment as a designer. So we have our top and our bottom. Now we have to start adding the elements. The element are your text, your image, and every other thing, your icons that you want to add to your design. Let's remove the let's change this background to white. Or let's leave it this way, just so you can see very well. If you go back to our design, you can see this designer now, it just add frame, and another thing. You can see more frame, and you get the point. So we are going to work with this section, the first section, which is the top section. We have how many elements here? We have 3 elements, 3 text, this one, and this one. So we'll add the text. Let me just copy the text. So we'll add the text here. So once you add the text here, let's change the color of the to white. Let's remove it. So you can see we have to text alignment our text. I don't think I have the font. Let's change the font to Inter because I don't have the font for the design. Inter. Now these are 3 texts. You can see the width now it's mixed. Then why the height is also mixed too. So all we need to do is just to fill the container. Like it should stretch, the text should stretch based on the top column, so that as we decrease it, the text will decrease too. We can change this one to, let's say, good. This is where we are in our design. Let me show you something. If you scale down now, let's say you scale to a smaller screen. So I'm trying to try something very responsive here with you. You can see if you scale down, you can see the text itself scale. You see, this is how responsive design work. So once you change your screen size to any size you want, like any maybe your mobile device, your tablet device, all you have to do is just to change the text. But if you don't use the box model principle, all you have to be doing again is for you to like restructure everything so that it will scale. But with all this auto layout and box model principle, you'll be able to get your responsiveness very, very easy. You can see. Let me check the chat. Are you getting me, please?
Only one response.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. So you understand where we talk about. Okay, let's go back to our design. You can see here now. Now, if you check this section now, if you check this section, this top section, if you check the top section very well, they will have a we have this container have 1200, which is the main container. The main container. Then this our text. This our text. You can see that the text is not giving that good design vibe. It's not giving that good design vibe. If you check the design, the main design, you can see the main design, like it have this kind of a that this vibe. What I'm trying to tell you is that in design, spaces matter very most. Then what brings out spacing is the hierarchy. Which text do you want the user to see first? You understand? If you check this web page now, this one, you can see the space between this text and this text is more closer with this text and this button. You get, if you scroll down again, this text and this text are more closer than this button, like this text and this button. You get the same thing here, the same thing here. Why? It's because of the visual hierarchy. Which content do you want the user to see first? Then after that, which content do you want the user to see next? So that is how hierarchy work. Let me try something. So how hierarchy work is this? If I change this text to extra bold 80, if I let's say but 80, then I duplicate it again. I change it to 72, no, 50, 48. Then I change the width to something like this. Then I add down that one again. Maybe this one will be here. Then I change to 24. Then I change it to regular. Then I add down that one again. Then maybe 12. Then maybe yes, this. So once you view something like this, the visual hierarchy will, like, no matter if you are viewing for the first time, your mind will go this box because it grabbed the attention before this one, before this one, and probably this one too. So these are how visual hierarchy work. You get, if you take this box now, let's say you take this one and put it closer with this one, then put this one and put it closer in this one. You understand? Now the visual hierarchy here is that you see this box first before this one. But initially, as the things, I have everybody give themselves space. You see this one first, then this one second, then this one third, this one fourth. But now with spacing, now you see this one first, you see this one second, before you see this one third. Now you see how the size and the spacing like send a message to you. If you check this website, let's go back to this website. You see this first, you see this text first before you see this one, before you see this contact. Why? Because the way they space them. This view resume, contact me and view resume are bigger than this text. But if you read this one, the next text you read is this one. Why? Because of the spacing. If this contact me is here, then you read it before this. But because this expert product designer point is still showing you example here now. Eh, here now, this about me, followed by product designer by skill here. This text is bigger than this small one, but there is no way you will read this big one before this small one. You read this, okay, this about me section. Okay, she's a product designer by skill and product manager by heart. Good. Before I started reading this. So this is how visual hierarchy work. And this is what works here too. You read this, get the ultimate marketing playbook. You read this first before you read before you even think about how many page, how many chapter, or how many expert interviews. So that's how visual hierarchy is. If you go back to our design, this is what happened here too. This is what is happening here too. This is how all the website works. Now let's go back to the design. So for this now, you know that this hero text and this one, they are to be close to each other so that you can read it before you go to the description. You group them, and by grouping them is that you put them into another box so that you give them their own size and any other thing. You click on Control A, Shift A, which is to add them into auto layout together. Then you can name it maybe top text, but just make sure you name some. You have a name for them. Then now this top column now, if I give them space with like space gap of 80, you can see the space is give that 80 space, but the 80 space is not affecting the these two text. These two text. Let me remove this blue color. Yes. Now this top column, I add 80 gap spacing. Even if I increase to 120 now, you can see it's not affecting this. It's not affecting these two. Because why? This container now, according to this top column, it only have two elements on itself, which is this group, top text group, then followed by the description. That is how you see it. You get. So if I duplicate this one now, then put this one at the middle. You can see according to this top column now, it only have three elements, which is this group, and this one. So that is why the space within, like that this space gapping is there. Is see it as three elements, not this text. According to like normally now is this text, this text, this text. This is like seven text now, like seven text. But this top column is seeing it as just three. You understand? Now, if I delete this one and I reduce this top column to maybe something of 48, or let's say 24. Now the 24 is also affecting these two because this top column is seen as two elements. You see this group now. This group is seeing itself as a group that has two elements too, which is this text, and this text too. So if you come here and increase this to 80, it only affects these two elements inside it. You see this one, this text now, it did not affect it. That's why there's no that 80 space did not affect.
Recording has stopped.
So that is how spacing matters most. Spacing matters most in terms of box model. Let's reduce it to now. Talking about spacing, let's say we have this top column now. We have 24. We have 24 as the space between them. Now any group element that is there, that is inside that group, inside it, like any other group now that will be inside this top column group, it should not be exceeding 24 as their space within, the element inside. It should be half of the top, like half of the parent space between the element. Now we have 24 here. Definitely, if you use 24 now, you see it's not communicating that message. Let me even let me add padding to this group so I can see. Now, you see this text now. If you add 24, it doesn't look that professional way. Like it's not giving that space, like that spacing vibe. If I can preview it here so that you can see. You can see it now from the preview. You see this space is too much. This 24, it will not work. Number one, they can't take a number higher than the parent space. Number two, they can't even take the same. It's like it can't be higher, it can't be the same. The best way is for it to be half or less. This is 24. We have 24 here as the space. Now, if you come to this group and reduce it to divided by 2, that will give you 12. Now, if you check the designer, you can see the space now. Very okay. That is how it works. That is why everything in terms of like everything, the element, you must group them so that you can give different spacing, you can give different padding, different margin, different color, anything. And again, it's not just you can see it as stress. It's not for you to just add your text element and be going. No, when you are working with developers, all those naming is what developers use to target the element in terms of animation or in terms of responsiveness, in terms of anything they're going to do, in terms of writing CSS. You understand? This naming is what they're going to use to target that element. That's why it's very, very important in terms of naming and in terms of grouping your elements. Are we still together?
Yeah.
Any question, please?
Question. Other question. Julie. Tosin. Finye. Question. Where's Chris? Question. Anybody? Who is confused? Okay, who is confused?
Plate ní kíní yẹn ọmọ tó gbà wí mo ṣe gbélé ọlọ́mọdé plate kan wà nínú ẹ̀ wọ́n ṣe gbélé kànga mo gbé sílẹ̀
So if there's no question,
mo ti fọ́.
we can go ahead because of our time. So this is our design now.
Okay.
This is our top design. Then we have our bottom design. Then our bottom container. This container now we have it here, which is this yellow container now. Then I said earlier that this one will have 24. Then it can be any group inside it will not be less. Will not be more than the 24. It's either half of it or lesser than half of it. It's the same thing if you are going higher. So this main container now you have to give spacing. Let me change this container to something maybe red. You can see this red and yellow, there's no space between them. If you want to add space now, you can't just come and add another 24 again. It will still look like okay, he's still in the same region. You understand? Adding 24 to it is just like this group and this text and this group again, they are still on the same. So you have to double it instead of half of it. Now you have to like double it. So we have 24. Then the main container will be 48 or higher. You can see. So if you preview now, you can see that if you view this, you can know that this one are on their own and this yellow is on their own. And in this red now, these two texts are also on their own. Why this one is on this like on its own too? So if you come back to this design now, this bottom container is you are going to give it a two container too. The container that will hold the image and the container that will hold the container that will hold the image and the container that will hold all those text. You understand? And inside this container that hold this text, there will also be another container that hold this one, that hold this one, and that hold this one too. You get? Then inside this container that hold this one, there will also be another container that will hold this and hold this too. All this is very important. Now, the importance, sorry, to get what I'm trying to say is if a developer want to change, let's say you want to change this text now to another font, once the developer target the name of this container and it change it, all the whole container, like all this one, this one, this one, it will change on its own. Instead of you going one after the other to go and be changing it, they'll just target the container name and change it. So that's why adding everything and grouping them is very important and naming them is very, very important. So if you want to replicate it now, we're using the box model, we'll come here to our design. So we'll add another two auto layouts. We'll add another two auto layout. We will call this the left one with the image auto layout, then the right one with the content auto layout too. If I change this color to, let's say, field, you can see the left one is white. Then this one now, let's change it to blue. You can see where the container is sitting on the page. On the, like, you see these two left and the right is sitting on this bottom container. So this bottom container, anytime you add container, make sure you remove the padding. Figma used to add 10 padding by default. So just try to be removing them. Let me change this to red so that it will be very viewable. Then if you remove it, you also remove your spacing too. You determine the space yourself. So you can see. But we know that this design now is left and right, not top and bottom. So we'll go back to our design, then change the alignment to roll, horizontal or vertical, roll or column. So let's change to horizontal alignment. You can see then, as we said earlier, we'll fill the container so that the text will get all the whole space. So you can see the way we structured it very well now. If you want to change anything, you can easily go and change what you want to change by just going through how the naming is. Okay, this one is the top. You know that, oh, you're going to change something from the top. Let's say you want to change the text now from only one POS to you know where to go exactly. And with this, the developer will know where to work from. So this one now, the left, you do not just call it left, you call it left that hold the image group or image container. You understand? Let's So go back to our design, copy the image, and paste the image. Now, I talked about working with image the other time. When you're working with image, you have to be very careful the way you work with image. Because if you bring image in now and you decided to choose fill, like you decided to choose fill container, like the image should fill the container, the image will stretch itself and it will reduce the way the image is supposed to be on the website. You understand? So because of that, now sometimes you put your image in fixed height always. So as you design responsive, be reducing it one after the other. But one thing you should know is that working with image is very complicated. It's not like working with other things. So like this image now, as you can see, once you put the image and fill it, the the image stretch itself. This is not the original size of the image. If you control Z now, this this is the original size of the image, and you can see that this image is bigger than the container. You understand? So what we need to do is to, you see this here, lock aspect ratio. You click on it first. You understand? So once you fill container, you can see the image will still retain its size. You can even reduce the image. Let me change this to, so the image will retain its size and everything. Like the image will scale down, it will not stretch. This is what stretch means. Okay, I'm coming. If you remove the lock aspect ratio now, this is what stretch mean. You understand? This is what stretch mean. But if you control Z now, then you lock the aspect ratio. If you are scaling down, you see the image you still, like the image you still maintain that its actual size. Now let's go back to that design again. So from here now, you can see you group this under that group, under the rice column group. This content here, they will be on their own group. This content will be on their own group. Let me check my timing. Yeah. This content will be on their own group. You see, this content will be these two. This content, there will be a group that hold this content together, and this one will be on its own group. This one will be on its own group, and this one will be on its own group. Let's just work this one as our final assessment. Let me, okay. Let's copy the text. Now, if you copy the text and paste the text here, if you copy the text and paste the text here, then we'll copy this one, paste here again. So these two now, we know that these two will be together. So these two will be together, we'll group them together. Then we'll bring the icon. We'll bring the icon as a group on its own. Then select this group and group the icon together with the other group. If you view it this way, you can see that you can determine how the spacing will be. We know that this one is very horizontal alignment. We can add, let's say, 12. 12. Then this side now, 12 divided by 2, that is 6. We'll give it 6. You see how it works very perfectly. You can align it to the top. So you see, you can just copy it, paste it on our right design. Uh, so let's remove the background from. Okay. So you see what I'm trying to say? Everything will be on its own group. You can determine the space you want to give them, but everything must be on their own group. Then again, everything like all your container or your group, whatever you call it, must be filled so that it will be very easy for you when it comes to responsiveness. Let's move this red background. I also told you that when it comes to web design, the height will be determined by the content. So we just hold content. We'll give this button column space of, let's say, 80. So you see the way we structure everything here now. We can come to this group again, add a spacing of, let's say, 24. Yes. You see how everything goes well. So with all this group, I know it's very hard, it's very stressful, but all this group that we are this group, everything must have group. It will be very easy for you, both for you and developers. When you come back to the design, you know where to start from. If I name this group as features one now, then this one two, this one three. Then instead of write content, I'll write content features. So if I want to add another features now, let's say they have another feature now. All I need is just to duplicate this one, make it default features, then just change the text. You understand? It will still maintain that positioning and every other thing. It will maintain it. So that is why all this box model is very, very important. It's already 2 hours plus. I'll give assessment. Then if you have any question, just ask so I can just answer your question because of our time.
Okay, do you want to give the assessment or the questions first?
The question first.
Okay, any question from anybody? Fin, Treasure, Ikemini, Ola.
Please, sorry, I actually understood everything, but can you walk me through on how to add a container again?
Okay, like from the structure of the layout first.
Yes, please.
Okay, let's go back to design. The first container will be the name of the page you are working on, whether it's homepage, about us, the contact us page, or any other page. You understand? The first page, like your first container, is will be the name of the page. And we always like to me personally, I used to use 140 so that I'll have enough space to work with. You understand? So some people use maybe 1,400. Some people can even use 2,000. You get depend on their screen, but 1,440, I think is the best. Is the best. Like let me say the best number to use. Then after that, the next container you add is your section. I explain what section is all about. This website is the navbar section. If you visit this website, this is the navbar section. This is the hero section. Like everything here now is on one container. Then if you come down to this about section now, everything here is in one container. So all those container now is the section. If you come to this website too, everything here is section. Aside this now everybody is section. Then this place is another section on its own. Then this about the book is a section on its own. Then about the author is also section on its own. You understand? And we
I
talk
got
about
that.
that the section must also be filled. Like the section must be stretched with the screen. You get the section must be also be stretched with the screen. If your screen is 2,000, your section width must also be 2,000. Then after that section, we have the main container. We have the main container. Now the main container must always have the fixed width of 1,200. 1,200. It must always have that fixed width of 1,200. You get so that all your content, like this website now, no matter how you zoom out, no matter how the screen is, the content will still be fit in this center alignment. Instead of your content to be scattered, one will be here, the other one will be here. No, by giving it a fixed width, it will make your content that no matter how the screen know, the content must be on a fixed width of like any text must be on a fixed width container of 1,200. From there, you can start adding your other content. The best, like aside the main container, we have two other content, like two other container, which is the top column, the bottom column. That is if your design is from top and bottom. Take for instance now, if I can see section, you can see this section now. This is section. This section. So you see this card now. This card. I don't know how she designed this one, but you can give this one, you can give these three, these first three on the right column, then this like on this three again on your left column. You understand? And you can also design it in a way that this one, these two will be on their own, will be on their own group. These two will be on their own group. These two will be on their own group. Or you can just put the whole three on this group and this thing on this group. But just make sure that if this thing is going to be on their own group, that is a vertical alignment. This one will also be vertical alignment. But if these two is going to be on their own, that is horizontal alignment. So after the main container, the next two container is either top and bottom or left and right, depending on how you want to structure the website. Do you get my point?
Yes, yes, I got this part. What I'm asking is like, how do you add a new container?
Okay.
Like, what's this? I think you said something about Shift A or something. I didn't get
Oh,
that part.
you're talking about the auto layout. How to add auto layout?
Yes, please.
If you want to add a container, just come to frame, this frame. Then you just draw the frame on where you want to add the container. So once you drag it, the next thing you should do is just to press Shift A. If you don't want to press Shift A, just come to this. You see this layout, then this last icon, use auto layout. You just click on it, it will turn to auto layout, or you can just use the shortcut button Shift A.
Okay, okay, I get it now. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other question? Has anybody learned anything new today? Nobody has learned anything new. Huh? Hey, Ekemini. Aside Ekemini is a developer. Oh. So if he's learning something new than you designers, something is wrong.
So I'm going to share this design as assignment or assessment. Just go through it, make everything to like use the box model principle to redesign this thing, to design this design. You can change image, but just make sure that you follow the box model principle. She'll share it with you.
Yeah.
So another question.
Any other question? If you were using the box model to design before now, raise your hand. If you start using box model after today, let me see your hand. Treasure. Okay, only Treasure would try box model. Who else is going to be trying box model? Fenye. Okay, who else? Only Treasure and Fenye will be trying box model after today. Anu, you came late. You're in trouble. Who else will be trying box model? Okay, Maxi.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, you can carry on if there's anything else.
Aside, I will give the assessment, then they will try it. That's all. Since there's
Okay.
no question to answer.
All right, Ola. That would be very nice. Um. So there's a secret in this box model that I'd like to share with you. So we'll be sharing the assessment. I'll share the assessment in the group too, and everybody can submit with the link to the Figma file. All right. And okay, Finn, you want to ask a question or Or you're answering to the one I've asked before. Okay, I think he's raising his hand to what I'd asked before. Okay, so I wanted to share the secrets in this box model for people that don't know. The secret is that you can use it on any tool that you use for your design. If you use Figma, if you use Adobe XD, right? Even at XD, I don't know what they call their own auto layer, but they have something that like auto too. I can't remember the name because it's been a while I use XD, right? And another, the top secret is that this is what developers use. You hear them saying div, this div, this div, this div, div that, div this. These containers that we're creating is what they call their own div, right? That's two. Then the third one is that you see all these no code tools like Framer, like Webflow. If you want to like get your hang of those tools, it is the box model that you're going to use because you have to create your section, you create your containers, and then you begin to drag your for those that know drag and you begin to drag your items into the containers like that you have created, and you see how your web page begin to come together. Am I right, Maxi? Have I been muted? Can you hear me? Have you guys been hearing me?
No,
No, we
No, we
haven't.
are just hearing you. We
Jesus,
haven't. Oh.
Jesus Christ. I just noticed that my microphone was muted. I've been talking since. What was the last thing you guys heard? Did you hear when I was talking about the top secrets about this too?
No, don't hear
Oh
anything.
my goodness. How come you guys are not hearing anything? Nobody said, what's going on here? Why is everywhere quiet? I've been talking. Okay. So I was trying to share like the secret, like there's a secret to this box model that I want you guys to know so that you can take this class very seriously. Right. And when we share the link after now, it will be nice for you to go back and revisit it to learn. So I shared that this box model, you can use it. Can you still hear me? Okay. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I said you can use it on any tool that you use for your web
Yes, we
design.
can.
So whether you're using Figma, you're using XD, you're using some other tools there, like they all have their auto, something auto. Figma's one is auto layout. I don't know, I can't remember what XD calls theirs, but they have one thing auto too. That's one. And then secondly, I said that this is what developers use. You will hear them talking about div this, div that, div. These div that they're talking about are the containers that we have just created in this class. And that's why when if you work with box model and they are seeing your design in work box model, it makes life easy for them, right? Then the third top secret is that if you use all these no code tools, right, like Framer, like Webflow, and you want to get an hang of it, this is what you are going to be using to create your web pages. You would realize that you have to create your containers, you have to create your sections, and then put your content into it or drag your content into it, and you see how they are forming shape and forming shape. Am I right, Maxi? I want you to confirm these three things that I've just mentioned.
yes, you are right.
So you see, so you learning this class that you have attended is more like you've attended like a three-in-one class. You've learned like a top secret that you can use across no code tools in your Figma, XD, or whatever design. And now you understand how developers think when they want to design a web page. You guys can just create film and put auto layouts, like, right? But the developers, they don't see that, they don't think like that. They Once they see your web page, they're thinking about it in sections, in containers, in divs, and the like. So um if you get the chance, not like if you get the chance, create time. Once you have shared this link after this class, please go back and watch so that you can understand everything that Maxi has taught us today, right? I used to tell my um participants of all our workshops that We're enjoying something here that some people are not enjoying. The kind of things that we put in these our workshops that are free are what some people are paying millions of dollars to learn, right? And because we give it out for free does not mean that we don't know what to do or we don't know how to charge for it. But because this organization, this is the purpose of this organization, to help everybody come together, hold our hands together, let us learn together, let us grow together. You understand? So that's the purpose. So I don't want anybody to treat any of our classes with levity. Always go back to our sessions, our workshops. It's there on YouTube, it's there on our YouTube channel. All the workshop in the past, please always check them. All right, so that you can learn these things. But this class is very, even me that I'm speaking, I learned something new in today's class. So I want to urge everybody, if you have not been using this model to design your web layout before, please start using it and you'll see
And
how professional.
another thing there is that
Yeah, go on.
And another thing there is that once you know how to use box model, most of your jobs will be coming from developer. Because once you work with developer, that developer know that you understand the box model and you make work easy for him. Anyway, they're talking about designer, he or she will refer you first because they know that if you design something, it's easy to write with code with them. It's another features for you to like understand that once you know how to use it, you get jobs from developers.
So that's it. For people that are wondering, "Ah, how do I get job? Why do I get side gig? Why do I get this?" This is another secret. So we have shared 4 secrets for you in this class. So that will be all so that we don't take too much of our time. Thank you so much, Maxi. Please, I would like you guys to appreciate Maxi for me. React with emojis, clap. If you want to unmute, like let's just appreciate him because he has given us his time. And they say time is money. He has given us his time. He has poured into us with his wealth of knowledge, and we have gained 4 secrets in the industry. So thank you so much, Mazia. I really appreciate. Thank you for supporting this brand. Thank you for supporting this purpose. God bless you.
Amen. You're welcome. Anytime.
All right. Even though I attended late, I gained something. You come back and meet me. Lẹ́yìn. All right, guys. So we will not be delaying you much further. The link is going to be shared. Please stay in that group. The link will be shared for you guys to go back to it again so that you can master it. Like it's very important for you to master it. So thank you all. I'll see you in the next session. Take good care of yourself. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye. Yeah, thank you, Ekemini. Thank you, Faith. Thank you, Femi. Thank you, Ola. Thank you, Oladekwanu. Thank you, Oluwatosin. Thank you, Faye. And thank you, Treasure. See you in the next round. Bye.